Welcome dear student. Starts with the routes of drug administration. Aim for today's practical is study of different routes of drug administration in mice or the rats. Now first one is the animal handling. There are the two types of the animal handling. First one is the double handed manual restraint and second one is the single handed manual restraint. Now starts with the double handed manual restraint. Firstly, the mouse is lifted by the base of the tail and placed on the cage lid or either solid surface with one hand, and then its tail is pulled gently back. Now see in the diagram, here is the mice which are placed in the cage of the lid. Next one is, it is quickly and firm picked up by the scruff of the neck behind the ears with the thumb and the index finger of the hand. Next one is the tail is transferred from the first hand to between the palms and the little or the ring finger of the other hand, then get fixed. And last one is the mouse is restrained. Second one is the single-handed restraint. In that, the tail is picked up using the thumb and forefinger of the chosen hand. Then the mouse is placed on the cage lid or the other solid surface. The tail is immediately grasped by the palms and the middle finger and ring finger and or the little finger, and the thumb and the forefinger get released. The fold of the skin from the scalp of the neck down the back is immediately gripped using the thumb and the forefinger. The mouse is then restrained. To prevent the kicking by the hind legs, the tail is fixed using the palms and the forefingers, and then the left hind leg is held firmly between the ring and the little finger. Now see, first one is the tail is pick up using the thumb and the forefinger of the preferred hand. Now see, here is the second one, or the B is the mouse is placed on the cage lid or other solid surface, pulling gently back by the hands. Third one is the tail is immediately grasped by the palm and the middle finger, ring finger and the little finger, and then the tail held between thumb and forefinger is get released. Fourth one is, and the fifth one is, the fold of the skin from the scalp of the neck down the back is immediately gripped using the thumb and the forefinger. And last one is the mouse is restrained. Here is the manual restraint of a mouse to prevent the kick by the hind leg. And tail is held using the palms and the forefinger, and then the left hind leg is fixed between the ring and the little finger. Next one is the routes of drug administration. The path taken by the drug to get into the body is known as the route of the drug administration, and the drug may be in ionized or the unionized form. Now, next one is the classification of route administration. First one is the oral route, second one is parenteral route, third one is inhalation, and fourth one is the topical route. Now, firstly starts with the oral route. Oral route is the most common route for the drug administration. It is mostly used for the neutral drugs. It may be in the form of the tablet, capsule, syrup, emulsion or the powder. Now next one is the procedure. First one is directly administration by oral gavage is preferred to mixing the substance with the food or the drinking water. A ball of the tip needle is used to prevent the damaging the esophagus and from passing through the glottal opening into the trachea. Third step is, the conscious mouse is manually restrained firmly by grip fold of skin from the scalp of the neck down the back. Immobilization of the head is essential for this procedure. When the neck is extended, the position is vertical. A straight line is formed between the mouth and the cardiac sphincter through the esophageal orifice, and the needle is passed gently through the mouth and the pharynx into the esophagus, and the substance is then administered slowly. Remove the animal from the cage. Firstly, prepare the needle. Here is the oral gauze and the syringe which is filled with the drug. Now, remove the mice from the cage and place on the lid. Take the mice and this oral gauze place straightly so they avoid the damage of the esophagus, and apply the drug slowly from esophagus to the stomach. Now see here, firstly take the animal, put the oral gauze in this straight manner. Next one is the advantages. It is convenient, it is cheapest available in route. Next one is it is safe to use, and last one is it is safe and acceptable. Disadvantages are less amount of drug reach the target tissue. Some of the drug is destroyed by gastric juice. Example is adrenaline, insulin and oxytocin. Absorption has to take place which is slow, so is not preferred during the emergency. It might cause the gastric irritation. It might be objectionable in taste. It might cause the discoloration of teeth. Example, iron cause the staining. Tetracycline below 14 cause the brown discoloration, so are not advisable during the pregnancy. Next one is the first pass effect. The first part effect is the term which is used for the hepatic metabolism of a drug when get absorption and delivered through the portal. The greater the first part effect, less amount of the drug reaches to the systemic circulation. Next one is the gauge needle size and maximum volume of get administration. Now the species uses the mouse and the rat. Gauze is for mouse 24 to 20 gauze and for rat 20 to 16 gauze. Length is 2.5 to 3.8 cm for mice and for rat is 3.8 and to 10 cm. Ball diameter for mouse is 1.25 to 2.25 mm and for rat 2.25 to 4 mm. Volume administered for mouse is 10 mg per kg and rat is again 10 ml per kg. Example, for mouse, a 25 gram mouse, the maximum volume will be 0.25 ml, and rat for 20 to 50 gram rat, the maximum volume will be 2.5 ml. Now next one is here is the diagram of metal gauge needle, plastic gauge needle, and here is the red rubber feeding tube for the rats. Second one route is parenteral route. Administration of substance other than via the alimentary canal to the body includes the injection, infusion, topical application, inhalation and implantation of an osmotic pump or a controlled release drug delivery pellet. Next one is the parenteral route includes injections. In that first one is intramuscular, second one is intravenous, third one is intraperitoneal, intradermal and the subcutaneous route. The intradermal is also called as the intracutaneous and subcutaneous is called as the hypodermic. This intramuscular given by 90 degree, subcutaneous given by 45 degree, intravenous given by 25 degree and intradermal given by 10 degree to 15 degree. Now next one is the advantages of parenteral route. First one is the parenteral route is rapid. It is useful for the uncooperative patient. It is useful for unconscious patient. Inactivation by gastrointestinal tract enzymes is avoided. First pass effect is avoided and the bioavailability is the 100%. Next one is the disadvantages in that skill is required. It is painful process. Method is expensive. It is less safe to use. Now firstly starts with the intramuscular route. The intramuscular route might be applied to the buttstock, thighs and the deltoid tissues. The volume is used the 3 ml. Now the procedure is, this should usually be avoided as a mouse muscle because they are the small. If necessary, it may be given into the thigh muscle with the injection volume less than 0.05 ml. Next step is, the tip of needle should be directed away from the femur and sciatic nerve. The mouse is get anesthetized or is manually restrained by another person. The needle tip is inserted through the skin and into the muscle and the solution is get injected. Next one is intramuscular route. Fill the syringe with the drug and apply the drug to the upper portion of the paw of the rat or the mice. Next is advantages. The absorption is rapid than the subcutaneous route. Oily preparation can be used. Again, irritative substances might be given. Slow releasing drugs can be given by this route. These are the advantages. Next one is the disadvantages. Using this route might cause the nerve or the vein damage. In parenteral, second one is the intravenous route. Intravenous injection might be applied to the lateral tail veins. And the procedure, the mouse is either placed in the restrainer or anesthetized and the tail is then warmed with the lamp or the warm towel or immersed in a warm water which is 40 to 45 degrees Celsius in order to dilate the vessels. The tail is swabbed with the 70% of alcohol on a gauze sponge or the swab. Insert the needle parallel to the vein, penetrating 2 to 4 mm into the lumen while keeping the bed of the needle face upward and the solution is get inserted. Now here is the preparation of the anesthesia. Now firstly warmer lamp to help the dilate the vein. Next one here is the modified restrainer for keeping the mice. Next one is the 30 gauge needle. Which is a disposable needle. Next one is Evans blue. 70% of ethanol. Firstly sedate the mouse. Put the mouse into the modified restrainer. and close the restrainer. Once the mouse placed in the modified restrainer, then make sure the mouse can breathe. And gives the continuous anesthesia to the mouse. And this restrainer place in the surface and then identify the vein in the mice tail. Apply the 70% of alcohol to use the injection site. And then insert the needle 50 degree from the skin. And the smooth delivery confirms the vein get access. Now the transfer section, view the mouse tail. Now see, here is the transfer section of the mouse tail, the sagittal view of the mouse tail, and the third one is the intravenous injection into the lateral vein of an anesthetized mouse using an insulin syringe which is a 27 gauge, 1/2 inch, 1 ml. Now second one procedure in that the ophthalmic plexus route is also used for intravenous administration. The technique resembles the blood collection by retroorbital sinus puncture. The mouse is anesthetized and then manually restrained on a solid surface, being held gently but firmly by the nape of the neck. By pressing down with the thumb and the forefinger in the occipital area and pulling back the skin, the point of the needle can be directed toward the back of the orbit at a 20 to 40 angle. The needle is inserted medially through the conjunctiva on the inner side of the ocular cavity. The fluid is injected slowly, loosening the skin tightly. Now see the sagittal view of the mouse eyeball and the retroorbital injection get added. Intravenous injection into the retroorbital sinus of an anesthetized mouse using an insulin syringe. Now in the intraorbital, place the mouse and add the solution into the orbital cavity slowly. Advantages of the intravenous route. Their immediate action take place. This route is preferred in emergency situation. Again, these are preferred in the unconscious patient. Titration of dose is possible. Large volume of fluid might be injected by this route. Diluted irritants might be injected. Absorption is not required. No first pass effect takes place and blood plasma or fluid might be injected. Next route in parenteral route is intraperitoneal route. This is the most common route, being technically simple and easy. It allows the quite long period of absorption from the respiratory side. And the rate of absorption by this route is usually 1/2 to 1/4 as rapid as from the intravenous route. Our procedure is the conscious mouse is manually restrained and is held in a supine position with its posterior end slightly elevated, or the head can be tilted lower than the body. The needle and the syringe should be kept almost parallel to its vertebral column in order to avoid the accidental penetration of the viscera. The needle is pushed in at any approximately 10 angle between the needle and the abdominal surface is lower quadrant of the abdomen, and the recommended volume is greater than 3 mm, and dose is administered.
Peritoneal injection, you will again remove the mouse from the cage by grabbing her by the tail, lifting her up and placing her on the cage lid. You will scruff her and turn her about. Then you will identify the midline of the abdomen, the upper boundary and the lower one, and then you will draw an imaginary midline across the abdomen. In the upper part you will now have the liver and the stomach, which we should avoid, and in the lower part you will have the bladder area and you will have the cecum on the left. Then you will do your injection in the right quadrant of the mouse abdomen. Gently introduce the needle, draw back a bit to make sure you're in the right position, and then gently inject your fluid. Draw back and put it back into the cage.
Advantages of intraperitoneal route are the large volume can be administered by this route, and the disadvantages are the sensitive of the tissue to irritant substances, less tolerance to solution of the non-physiological pH. Now the next route in the route is intradermal or the intracutaneous route. The site of injection should be clipped or depleted before the injection. Now the procedure are: the mouse is anesthetized, the fur, clip or hair get removed. Now see in the diagram, here is the mice and the fur is get removed from an area on the back. The ventral abdomen or the hind foot pad, which is whipped with 70% of ethanol on a gauze sponge or the swab. The skin is held tautly with thumb and index finger, and the needle inserted level up and at a shallow angle just under the superficial layer of the epidermis, and the volume should be less than 0.05 ml per side. Restraint should be felt both as the needle is advanced and the compound is get injected. Next route in parenteral route is the subcutaneous route, which is also called as the hypodermic. In that, the subcutaneous route might be used for the arm, forearm, thigh and the subscapular space. Hypodermic needle, which is a 25 to 30 gauge. And procedure: the subcutaneous administration are made into the loose skin over the interscapular or the intraguinal area. The mouse is manually restrained and the placed on a clean towel or the solid surface. The needle is inserted under the skin of the intracapsular area, tented by the thumb and the forefinger, and the substance then get injected. The volume injected, which is less than 3 ml, which is recommended. Place the mouse in lid. The injection is inserted into the loose skin and the dose is get administered. Next is the advantages. In that, absorption is slow and constant. It is hygienic. Advantages are: it might lead to abscess formation. Absorption is limited by blood flow. An example of drugs given by subcutaneous route, they include the insulin, adrenaline and the norplan. Next route, third one is the inhalation route. This route is used for experiments on asthma, air pollution, and the respiration. Inhalation may be the route of choice to avoid the systemic effect. In this way, drug can pass directly to the lungs. Drugs used involve the volatile drugs and the gases. Example include the aerosols like the salbutamol. Steam inhalations include the tincture and the benzoin. The inhalation route, incidentally, is the nearest akin to an intravenous injection because of the relatively large area presented for absorption by a membrane that is separated from the blood by only one or two cell layer. Consequently, absorption of gases and aerosols that reach the alveoli is virtually complete. Now, see in this diagram, here is the inhalation route, mouse is kept, here is the inlet. Next one is the advantages. They are rapid absorption takes place, rapid onset of action takes place. This route has minimum side effect, no first pass effect takes place. This method is easy and fewer doses is required. Next one is the advantages in that special apparatus is required, irritation of the respiratory tract may be take place, cooperation of the patient is required, airway must be patent. Now the last one route one is the topical route. In that, drugs may be applied to the external surface, the skin and the mucous membrane. The topical route includes the first one is the an epidermic route in which when the drug is applied to the skin, it is called as the an epidermic route of drug administration. And the example is the poulticer, plasters, creams and the ointments. Second one is the epidermic route. When the drug is rubbed into the skin, it is known as the epidermic route. Example is the different oils. Next one is the insufflation. When the drug is finely powdered form is blown into the body cavities or the space with special nebulizer, the method is known as the insufflations. Next one is instillation. The liquids may be poured into the body by a dropper into the conjunctival sac, ear, nose and wounds. Solid may also be administered. Next one is the irrigation or the dutching. This method is used for washing a cavity, example urinary bladder, uterus, vagina and the urethra, and it is helpful or it is used for application of the antiseptic drug. Last one is the punting or the swabbing. In that, drugs are simply applied in the form of the lotion or cutaneous or the mucosal surface of buccal, nasal cavity and the other internal organs. Up to here is the total of the route of administration of the drug in mice. Now next one is the question bank. Now the first question is, which one of the following is not a route of administration? Option A is intravenous, option B is oral, option C is topical and D is the dissolution. And the answer is D, which is a dissolution. Next one is the which one of the following medicines does not rely on topical drug delivery? First one is nasal spray. Second one is the anti-dandruff shampoo. Third one is the insulin pen. Fourth one is nicotine patch. And the answer is C, which is the insulin pen. Next one is the which of the following is not a common route of administering medication? Option A is oral, B is intramuscular, C is intravenous, D is intraosmolar, and the answer is D, which is the intraosmolar. Next question. Which of the following route is used for neutral drugs? First one is oral, intramuscular, intravenous, and the intraperitoneal. And the answer is A, which is a oral. Now up to that we have totally covered the route of drug administration. Thank you.